be like a back in my day, but that's kind of how I feel.
Well, I'm still irritated that every year OSU shuts down like 3 or 4 days. When I was in college, I mean, I remember driving up there in ice storms to different guys, and then the instructor doesn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well,
Why? Yeah.
why am I here?
Exactly. All right, I would like to call to order the meeting of the Perkins Public Library Trust, City of Perkins, November 7th at 5:59,
It's 6.
sorry,
It's
6 p.m.
Right on time.
5 seconds ahead.
Roll call, please.
All right, we've got Brian Huckabee,
Here.
Linda Barta,
Here.
and Melissa Mills.
Here.
And Charlotte Herrick is absent.
All right. Number 2, consideration and action on consent agenda. A, approval of minutes from the August 1st, 2024 regular meeting. B, approval of financial reports. And C, acceptance of resignation of trustee Valerie Hill.
So this is what's left in our account, 26,870.
Yeah, if we need to discuss it, we'll need to move it out of consent agenda, but we can do that.
Well, I'm just saying that's what this is saying. Okay.
Why do we have a rules of decorum for the library board?
That will be later.
Rules and decorum? Where'd you say?
Well, but it says library board meetings.
This was the email that we received from Amy back that talked about how it would change if somebody wanted to be in a public and have comments. And it's later in our agenda. It's actually number 9, so we will discuss it at that point. Right now, we just need a motion for the minutes, the financial report, and the acceptance of Valerie's letter.
I move to, so are we doing them one at a time?
No?
I move to approve all the things. Approve the minutes, financial report, and accept the resignation. Consent agenda.
Second.
I will second.
I'm never fast enough.
All right, then I've got Melissa,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
and Brian.
Yeah.
All right, item number 3, discussion and possible action on items removed from consent agenda. Nothing was removed. Item 4, consideration and discussion on possible action to elect a chair. It's that time again that we need to elect a chair.
I make a motion that we leave things just like they are.
I second that motion.
That would take care of item
Let's see.
4.
I think we have to do them both separately.
Yes, item 4 has to be done first.
I motion that Linda stays chair.
All right, then Brian, do you want to second that? Perfect. All right, sorry. Then Melissa,
Yes.
Brian,
Yeah.
and Linda.
Yes.
I'd be sorry.
All right, item 5, consideration, discussion, and possible action to elect a vice chair.
I make a motion, we.
I second.
You motioned. Look at you go.
Look at me,
Yeah.
getting things done today.
All right. And then, oh, done, roll call, I'm sorry.
Roll call.
Then Brian, Linda.
Yes.
And Melissa.
Yes.
All right, item number 6, consideration and discussion of possible action to approve resolution 16-2024, a resolution calling for and establishing meeting dates for the Perkins Public Library Trust, City of Perkins, Oklahoma for the year 2025. Just thinking ahead, I know we've moved to monthly meetings and it's easier to have them established and cancel them than it is to try to run a special meeting. I think once things get going on the building, we might not need to meet monthly, just depending on how things fall out. What's your thought, Brian?
I think we'll still end up probably wanting to meet monthly, but there may be some special meetings mixed in.
Gotcha.
So, because I don't know the protocol once we start the process, if we will have to meet to approve pay applications.
Right.
And if we do that, depending on.
Well, see, and I don't know how much we're gonna have to approve them or if the city is going to have to approve them because that loan will actually be from the city. So I'm not sure how that's gonna play out.
But we still have a lease on the building.
Right.
So somewhere in the process, Bob and Tammy will have to tell us what that protocol will be. We need to establish that ahead of time so we don't look up and
Have something last minute.
things are started and then we're like, who's doing what?
Right.
So we should probably have that discussion with Bob in the meantime and figure out, establish protocols.
Right.
Once construction starts, who's doing what.
Well, and I think having it already monthly meeting set up will help us with that. And like I said, it would be easier to cancel than it would be to try to get one.
And I think it's still good to leave them monthly. I mean, hopefully somewhere, but before
Yes.
the end of that calendar year, we can say the project's done, and then we could, at some point, convene and say, we don't need to do monthly anymore. We can
Right, we could modify it and go to quarterly or whatever.
Yeah, so
All right,
I'll make a motion to approve those dates.
A second.
perfect.
All right, so Brian. Yes, yes, yes.
You gotta
Yes.
read it, or?
No, you can say it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Melissa?
Yes.
And Linda?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, item number 7, consideration and discussion regarding the update from Brian Huckabee on the progress of the new library project.
Well, we met the architect again the other day, made minor revisions, I guess. They brought a lot of finishes that was good material. The colors were not what everybody was hoping for. They were really more geared towards a new commercial project, so they went home with some homework to kind of reinvent the wheel on coming up with some
The
new
finishes.
finishes.
Tell me more about what you mean. The colors weren't right? What were the?
They were more like cool colors, and we're thinking more warm colors, trying to keep more with the history of the building and downtown
Well,
Perkins and
There
all
was
of those
too many
things.
color changes too, I think.
Yeah,
So I think we kind of dialed that back so we have more homogeneous color tone throughout. And then we talked about changing some of the materials because they had basically all carpet, even up front. And I think I've always envisioned some harder surface up toward the front desk. And then even after that meeting, I started thinking I can even see hard surface from the front desk all the way to the back to the Discovery Center. So there's like kind of a hallway of LVT or tile or something that doesn't have to be a different color.
right,
It could be in the same color family.
right,
So it just kind of blends and it's not a big, shine like a diamond kind of thing, but
Right.
it's a hard surface that will wear better
right.
than the carpet will. I still think we need a lot of carpet to kind of quiet things.
Oh, yeah, among the stacks, we're thinking
And it's more
carpet.
comfortable for the staff to walk around on every day, people to come, walk around.
Right.
I think carpet is a necessity.
Right.
But we need to put it where it needs to be and maybe some hard surfaces
Elsewhere.
for the high use areas and the
You
way.
can always put rugs if you decide you want them or not.
Right,
And the carpet we're using is a carpet tile. They're big carpet tiles, so, we can put in the spec that, whoever does the flooring has to leave us 5 or 10% attic stock. It goes up in the attic, and then if somebody spills coffee, something that can't come out, you can peel one up and put one back.
A
Bad
little
thing
more
about that is that
user-friendly.
at some point, carpet's like a lot of other products. Every 5 years,
Right.
Armstrong, somebody discontinues that one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
at some point in time, you're like, well, I can't replace that
That.
anymore.
Yeah.
But
But if they leave enough to get us through,
5 years, 10 years, whatever,
Right.
so. But, so finishes are gonna be relooked at. And I don't think, the floor plan, we didn't really make too many.
No, there was just a couple of little, just small things.
So John, I texted him today, he's supposed to send me the plans tomorrow, at least the set I can use to send out to subs and get a budget put together
For a budget?
based on.
Okay,
this.
gotcha.
so are we contracting? Or who's gonna be the contractor?
Well, it'll go to public
Bids.
bids.
Public bids, okay.
So once John's got the plans done, we approve them, loans in place with the city, then the city can advertise and say.
And that's the city's, that's not us.
Right.
The city will do all that.
So they-
Because Bob really left us for the design phase.
So the city
And
wants
I'll
to
do
do the
that piece.
contracting, so they'll advertise for bids. Bids will roll in and our architect will administer that process. Have a public bid opening and say, contractor A, B, C, read them out loud, and then he'll go review the bids, make a recommendation to the city, say, here's your best responsive bidder. And then hopefully it's in our budget and
Get on the ball.
so, so tomorrow when I get those, I can send,
So will John be putting together a budget too, or is that your part?
well, he'll help with some components.
He will help with some of that too. Gotcha.
And based on past experience, architects are usually they're fairly close,
Yeah,
but. I
they
think-
need a little more help.
Yeah, I can help.
Gotcha.
I can help get them closer, so
Gotcha.
I think, hopefully it comes in close to where we've been hoping it'll be.
Okay, good.
So, we'll see, I think the mechanical system, that energy recovery aspect.
Right.
Is kind of a new spin, so that'll add a little bit to the mechanical. The electrical, I don't think will be much more than I'd planned on.
Yeah, looking at like all the lights and where they were all placed on the plan and looking at where all the vents were, and I mean, it's like,
There's a lot.
I
of
just,
detail.
I trust you and him on those things because that's not, I don't
You have the
know.
experience.
Exactly.
with that.
Exactly. So,
Well, and when I get that budget set, I can share it with the group.
Well, and was there an estimation at a past meeting for the amount of money that we think we're gonna get? I mean, was there some amount that we received?
the formula was that Bob had initially said was over the course of 10 years, he thought it would be close to $1 million. And then the city had actually budgeted an amount per year, is this correct, Jennifer? That per month that they thought that the tax would pull in.
Yes.
And the first month it pulled in what they thought.
It succeeded it, yeah.
The second month, it was a little under, I believe, is what he had told me.
Well, so I think
Can't
that-
remember,
That
but,
million and change over 10 years, I think was advertised as a conservative
yeah,
budget, so we're kind of hoping, I mean, there'll be more city growth, population growth. so
right,
Every year, it could increase.
should
so over 10
increase,
years, we
right.
might have 1.5 million.
right.
I'm still hoping this thing will come in at 800 or less.
Yeah.
So we'll,
And that's kind of where we had talked about, is that 75 to 8.
but I estimate jobs all the time, and
It's hard to know, materials are crazy.
it is crazy just how much, and people will call and say, well, how much per square foot? And I'm like, I'm not even taking.
I can't even get there, yeah,
You just gotta tell me exactly what it is, and I'll
Right.
give you exact pricing, and
Right.
I'll tell you. So,
it is hard, it is hard.
but I still think there's enough local contractors that would wanna see it done, you know. They come in here and give, not local contractors, subcontractors
Some opportunity to help with some of that, yeah.
that keep the cost down, so.
Exactly, exactly. Well, and that was one of the things I wasn't sure of, if we would be able to use some of those people based on who comes in as the contractor.
Well, that's the thing, I mean, like I said, it'll go out to public bid, so it,
Right, It's up to them.
May or may not be a local person in the end, yeah.
Right. Right.
So, but, so my update then is that John and Jessica making changes now. He said he'd have those to me tomorrow.
Gotcha.
It won't be a complete full set for construction, but close enough I can send out to a lot of subcontractors and get pricing for framing, drywall,
Right.
mechanical, electrical, plumbing, painting, flooring,
Right.
all that stuff.
And be close.
And get something close, and then that'll help us identify, like flooring. If it's $100,000, we can say, well, crap, we need to
Got you some cheaper.
do something cheaper where we start
Right.
and start doing some value engineering ahead of time and try to figure out how to
Right.
get the same finished product without all the expense. So,
Well, and we've tried to help him understand that we need this to last forever. This is gonna be the library and we want it to be classic, and we want it to be timeless, and we want it to look good, and we want the wow factor when you walk in,
Yeah.
and so I really feel like he's listening to the group.
Good.
And I think it's
And
hard.
making you can do decorative things that can be
Added later. even.
changed or
Yeah,
added,
yeah.
over time, but the main parts of it need to
Exactly.
be, I agree.
Exactly. But I feel like we're getting close, right?
I think so.
All right, any other discussion on that?
I think, well, still, the biggest decision I think we still have to make is the exterior finishes. He's thrown some options. We didn't go over them in great detail the other day, but we'll have to, I guess, number one, price them up, but then also think about the overall look and what we think about it. Because right now he's got that, a veneer brick.
Brick veneer and then metal? Is it metal above?
Yeah, and then metal above, which I'm not opposed to metal, because I haven't proposed that to him, because I still never really liked the ephes to drive it.
Right, the stucco look, yeah, or whatever.
So I think metal could be a good option. So that's still gonna be a big design decision. I mean, that north wall is kind of the biggest
That's the biggest, everyone's gonna see
visible
that.
thing on the whole
Right.
project.
Right.
I wish we could brick the whole thing, but it's gonna be too expensive probably.
Yeah, at this point, I'm certain the inside, I know we can make it, we can have a little wow factor right inside the front door, and then
Right.
things will be clean and pretty, and everybody will be happy, but the outside, we'll have to give a little, scrutinize that pretty well. Make sure that we're happy and
It looks good.
everybody will be happy, and it'll
Exactly.
fit with Main Street and what we want it to,
Exactly.
what we want it to be, so. So that'll be the last big decision, I think.
Gotcha.
We had talked at one point about having like some brick, like almost like pillars at certain points, and was that still part of the idea or no?
Yeah, that was kind of the last plan was because there are brick columns built in that wall,
Inside.
Inside.
and they come all the way out.
Do they come all the way out too? Okay.
So if you go look real hard, you can see them kind of buried in the clay
Okay.
tile
And the
stuff.
clay tiles, okay.
So the plan was to take brick up those full height, then to do a low brick.
And then it might keep it kind of more,
And I think-
because, that's gonna be such a big wall.
Well, and he kind of expanded on that, took the 4-foot wainscot up to like 8 foot, I think.
Right.
With a veneer brick instead of a full brick.
Right,
But he didn't have the columns in there.
right.
So we could, like I said, we still need to study that a little bit more.
Gotcha.
So,
And whatever we do on that side, we'll probably do on the back too.
well, I think that's kind of where he was going with it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then that south wall, we'll have to make a decision.
Right.
And that might be one of those things, depending on where budget falls, if we just do fill the holes and use an elastomeric paint, and then, plan somewhere within 10 years down the road to come in and spend a little more money and do something on that, because otherwise you're gonna have every 10 years, you're gonna have to repaint it,
Right, yeah,
to keep it sealed up good,
right.
so.
Gotcha.
But that side's not as visible as.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So, but I think I'm fairly happy with the floor plan, I think. So when I get that, I'll share it with everybody, then be studying it. We don't have to take any action on it right away.
Right.
Kind of let him rework, finish selections, and get mechanical, electrical, plumbing redone. And I think we'll probably, at that point, when they come back, hopefully we can say we're at that 90% point.
Yeah.
And it finishes that maybe pretty close to the mark, and then we can tweak those a little bit and be pretty close to ready to go.
Good.
So that's my update.
All right.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Number 8, consideration and discussion regarding next steps of the new library renovations, which I kind of would think we took care of that with his progress. All right, number 9, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve updated rules of decorum for library trust meetings. So Jennifer, this says rules of decorum for our Perkins Library Board meetings. Are you using it as library trust or all boards? How are you using this? I wanted to make sure that we have it worded correctly in the,
No, that's a very good point.
because when she sent it out, she said for all
Right.
public meetings.
Yeah,
But it does say Perkins Library Board.
it does, and I probably should have double checked on that and seen if I needed to change that.
And we probably should change it to Perkins Library Trust meetings, and then in the first, change it to Perkins Library Trust.
What we can do is approve it with, there's a word for it,
I mean, we are a board, and we are a part of the library.
because it's the.
We can approve it pending
Yes, that adjustment.
an amendment.
Okay.
So I read it, I'm fine with everything I see on
You make a motion?
it. Yeah.
All right.
I'll second.
So make a motion to approve with the note that it'll be changed to Perkins Library Trust meetings. So,
All right, then Brian
yeah.
and Melissa
Yes.
and Linda.
Yes. All right. Number 10, new business.
Well, we
Don't
could,
have any new business.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we got new business, because we haven't talked about trying to find another member
Yeah.
to replace Valerie.
It's true.
I think that would have to be on next agenda, would it not?
I'm sorry.
To find someone to take Valerie's position, because
So-
we have discussion for that.
I mean, so I believe, if I'm not wrong, it's the commission that appoints the next person. If there's somebody you have in mind, we can always recommend that person to the
To
commission.
the city commission.
Well, that's always been the protocol. This committee has always come up with the person and sent it to whoever to approve, so
Gotcha.
it always starts here.
I see.
But, so, again, I don't know if we can talk about it under new business. I thought I'd just throw it out there.
Yeah.
So we know what we need to do, so we.
Well, be kind of racking your brains and see if there's somebody that might be interested in serving.
Are we looking for a person with a particular expertise, or just a warm body, or what are we doing here?
I think it's somebody who loves the library, wants to see that building completed, wants to help with the final, push to get that building completed. But I don't know that they have to have a certain expertise, but willing
I mean, it
to
was
serve.
nice- it
and
was
be an
nice
extra
that
set
Valerie
ahead.
was a
Yeah.
architect.
She
Yes.
had
She had some
definite
expertise.
skill set that went to the, I agree.
Yeah, I think anybody interested is number one.
Yeah.
And if they'll stick with it and attend when needed, and, that's the main thing. But if they have any expertise in grants or construction or,
Right.
libraries and
All the
specifically,
things,
yeah.
community-minded, all the things.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
All right, item number 11, a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I second.
Okay. right, then Brian,
Yeah.
Linda?
Yes.
And Melissa?
Yep.
And it is 6:23.
That was a short.
You're emotioning all over the place tonight.
We're getting it done.
I'm making up for